some point or other, have spoken to a random dude by the bar? Raise your hand. If you have, yeah, everybody, good. That's good. I'm glad we can all see this. This is something we can all appreciate and relate to. You're standing there, you chat to the random dude next to you at the bar, and the random dude looks at you, or you look at the random dude and you go, oh, it's taking forever to get served here, or, oh, you should have football results. It doesn't matter what you said something. And then 45 minutes later, or 20 minutes later, or however long later, you see the dude again in another part of the bar, and you look at each other, and you nod and smile. Who's had that experience? Raise your hand. Hey, almost everybody again. Good. So, that's something we can all be familiar with. What if we had that interaction with absolutely everybody in a room? What if we purposefully went out of our way to have that conversation with absolutely everybody in a room? You know, kind of accidentally on purpose. What would happen as you walked around the room? Anyone hazard a guess? As you walked around, what would people be doing? Nodding and smiling. When Cinderella goes to stand by the bar, she knows she's damn fine because she's Cinderella and the book was written about her. However, when you stand by the bar, she'll be thinking, why is everybody looking at him? She's going to want to know why. If you speak to her and she notices this, she may ask that. She may be curious. If she does, do you reckon we could consider that maybe she's thinking about it? Maybe she's thinking about you. Could we count that as a little bit of investment? Could we think of that as her putting effort in? I think we could. That's the first step towards her being interested in who you are. Especially if when you're talking to her, you're dismissing her. There's an added bonus to pre-selection. How amazing is this? Because at the moment we're just talking about that's social proof. The essence that everybody in a room has perceived you as being social. But there's another added benefit. When you go into a bar, and let's just give you an idea of some sets. We've got 2 guys, another 4 guys hoping to get lucky. And we've got 2 ugly chicks, they ain't getting lucky. And then we've got a hot chick and an ugly chick, and then we've got 4 hot chicks. If you go in there and you pick your set, how many of you, be honest, how many of you go straight up to the hot ones? 3-second rule, yeah, a couple of hands coming up shyly. 3-second rule, they're the hottest, time to go and hit on the hot ones, okay? And you come up with the best opinion opener ever. No one would see it, it's under the radar. You ask something like, you know, my aunt died and I need to bury the body south of the equator, whatever. Some amazing thing. And I'm asking you because your dress is the same dress that I saw in Ecuador. Whatever. It's the most amazing opinion opener. What's going on in her head as you walk towards her before you say anything? He's going to hit on me. That's it. Done. I don't care how good your opinion opener is. You are going to have to work damn hard. Now imagine some dude that walks in by the 2 guys here. He's like, hey man, how you doing? Good to see you. All right. Dude's like, why are you talking to me? He's like, sorry man, you know what? I thought I knew you from somewhere else. Anyway, nice to meet you. Goes to the next one, goes, hey guys, see the football results? Like, yeah, I saw the football results, blah, 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 blah. Go up to the 2 arcs and goes, hey babe, how you doing? Nice to see you. I love your dress. Looks really good. Oh my God, you like my dress? Huh? I'm ugly. You're like, yeah, no, damn, dress is nice. I like you, right? So you chat to her, and then you go to the next one, and the next one's the hot and the ugg, and you speak to the ugg, and you're like, hey, nice to meet you. Do you know what, can I get your opinion on something? I just wondered about blah, 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 blah. The ugg talks to you. The hot one's like, why is he ignoring me? Why won't he talk to me? And you speak to the hot one, and you go, well, what do you think about that? And you go, blah, 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 blah. And then you go up to the 4 hot ones, and you're like, do you know what, I don't know you. And you leave. Now, for a start, the 4 ones aren't thinking you're hitting on them. They're thinking, why does he know everyone in here and not me? How important is he? Why don't I know that guy yet? Off they come. They want to know who you are. All right, they probably won't approach. Let's be real. They're HB10s, which means they're up their own. However, you know, when you do speak to them, they're not going to think, he's hitting on me. They're going to think, he's speaking to absolutely everybody in here. So how much value are you showing them? 0. Absolutely nothing. So you're opening, you're not giving away the fact you're hitting on them. You're not giving them value. So even though secretly we're working on this, they don't have to know. And if they don't know, then their perception of the world is they're putting more effort into you. Because if you're not looking like you're giving them effort, at the end of the day, an expensive car is an expensive car, and if you don't have 2, you still want the one you've won. She looks at you and she thinks he's a cool guy, he knows absolutely everybody, he's not hitting on me, I don't understand why he's not hitting on me, so I'm going to start getting to know him. She puts some effort in, she says, you know what, now I'm spending time getting to know him. No shit tests. You guys all know what a shit test is? Mm-hmm. There's no shit test. You're not getting shit tests because she wants to get to know you. Why shit test someone you want to get to know? Guess what else doesn't happen? LMR. But we'll deal with that later. So you don't get a shit test because she wants to get to know you. And as she's coming into you, yeah, hi.
Sorry, what's the shit test?
No problem, sorry. A shit test is when a girl gives you a bad response or she lies to you to make it very difficult for you to get to know her. So, you know, a typical one would be you'd speak to a girl, she's quite hot, and you're like, so what do you do for a living? And she's like, oh, I'm a stripper. And I make my money on the side by sleeping with the men that I work with. And you're like, well, is that true or not? Because if it's true, I'd like to date you. And if it's not, you're hot enough and you're funny, so I'd like to date you. Now I'm stuck. What do I say? You know, are you interested in the job? Wow, no way, really? And she'll live this whole fantasy in her head of being a stripper that she isn't really. Or do you not believe her? At which point she goes, I can't believe you're dissing me. That's my job and you're insulting me. You're typically just like every other man. You're trapped. You're in a shit test. They're horrible to get out of. If anyone wants to know how to do a shit test, you treat them like your 3-year-old niece or nephew. It's exactly the same. When they say, oh, that's cute, and then keep talking, just ignore it. Just, great. Any situation when you're stuck and wondering how to deal with a girl, treat them like a 3-year-old niece or nephew. It's always the best way to deal with it. That's blanket, generic, it works well. You know? Imagine a hot girl on the street comes up to you and goes, you know what, I don't like you, I think you're an arsehole. You know, you could take that quite badly. If your 3-year-old niece or nephew said it to you, you'd sort of like look at them and go, Mummy said you're not allowed to use words like that. It works exactly the same. Hot girl in the street says, oh, I don't like you, I think you're an arsehole. You go, come on, you know better than that, you shouldn't use words like that.
You're saying treat her like a brat.
Exactly. That's it. You just knock it out of the way. It's a generic rule, very simple to apply. So you're not going to get these shit tests because she's putting the effort in getting to know you. I have so many guys say, okay, but you know, I go into a bar, I talk to a whole bunch of people, I look like I'm hitting on all of them. Yes, that will happen. The first time you go in, this is what I call cold social proof. This is where you go in with nothing, and you aim to walk out with something. It will not often be the hottest girl in the bar. Not the first time. It could be, but not always. Because she probably knows everyone in there, her social proof is higher than you, she's pre-selected better than you, she's got people all over her, so you're competing on another level. How many of you have number closed before? Raise your hand if you've got phone numbers. That's pretty good. That's very, very good. How many of you, with every single one of the girls who have number closed, have slept with them? Raise your hands. This guy. This guy is a legend. Leave. You don't need to be here. Go out. Okay. So this is what I'm talking about, right? Most people will get a lot of numbers and they won't sleep with a lot of the girls. Now, honestly, raise your hand if every girl whose phone number you've got is now one of your friends and you hang out with on a regular basis. One guy. 2 guys. You're sleeping with them. That don't count. Okay.
Still a friend afterwards, huh? We still go and hang out, huh?
Why are you here? Legend. It's good. So, but guys, that's what I'm saying, huh? They are missed opportunities. Those girls should want to be your friend. If you've got the skill to get them talking to you and to contemplate maybe sleeping with you or hanging out with you, or at least giving you their phone number, you can add them to your friend group. Now, I don't know how many phone numbers you've